I I filmed this entire video once already, and then I was watching it back, and there was a spider on me the whole video. And you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna make you guys watch a spider crawl around on me. I don't want to watch a spider crawl around on me. Oh, this is crooked now. There we go. So we're gonna refilm the whole thing. Ugh. Spiders are one of my biggest fears. Oh, I hate spiders. And there's one crawling around on me the whole video. And how did I not see that? Oh. It's gone now. It's gone. Still got the heebie-jeebies though. Okay. You know what? This is working out in my favor a little bit because now I am feeling way more awake than when I originally filmed the video. So yeah, good morning. It is, I don't actually know what time it is because I'm filming on my phone. It's very early though. I think it's like around 9:40. This is the first thing that I'm doing today. And cheers, you know. Good morning. Happy July. I'm here to talk about what I read in June. There was not a lot that I read in June. In all honesty, I was not in a reading mood in June. June was not a good reading month for me, but I honestly can't tell you what I was doing in the month. I think I was like discovering new ways of journaling. I started my first real bullet journal and it's been working out wonders for me. Like, it's helping so much with my mental health. I deleted TikTok. I was legitimately addicted to TikTok, to the point that I literally have withdrawal symptoms of not having TikTok, and it's bad, but it's helping my mental health. It's helping my my attention span. It's only been a couple of weeks, and yet I'm doing so much better. I'm actually reading again. July is always a good reading month, but this has been like a top-notch reading month. Anyways, this is not about July though. You will hear about July at the end of the month, hopefully. This is about June. The reason that this video is late is because we had a 3-day weekend and I got super overstimulated and my brain just did not want to be a brain for the first week of July. And I said, instead of forcing myself, I let myself not have a brain for the first week of July. I was like, it is what it is, and I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna let myself chill and relax and read. And boy, did I read. But this is not about July. This is about June. In June, I read a total of 7 things, which was not a lot. And I only read about 50-something fanfics, and my average is almost always in the 70s to hundreds. So it was just not. June was just not a good reading month for me. So, going back to June in my notebook. Okay. In June, the first thing that I read was Livingstone Volume 1. Livingstone is a manga series that I've owned for quite a few years now. I think it was one of the things that I first picked up when I first really started collecting manga, because it was only 4 volumes. And I was like, oh, I'll get that. No problem. And it was complete. That was like a big thing that I really liked when I was starting collecting, was getting complete things. Right now, I'm kind of in like a standalones mood. Like, as long as it's 1 volume, I'm gonna be so happy with it. But that's a different discussion. I gave the first volume of Livingstone 4 stars, and I was going to continue the series, but I was in a really big reading slump after April. At the end of April, I finished The Goldfinch, and I loved it, but it kind of put me in a bit of a reading slump. So I only read Livingstone for the first half of June, and I was going to continue the series, but I just couldn't. I know how the series continues, and I just wasn't in the mood for that. Livingstone is a very bittersweet manga series, I guess you could say, or just plain sad manga series that is very dark, about these 2 characters who are in the business of making sure that souls don't get destroyed, that they just move on to their next life. And it's very sad. But It's very interesting. I like the art style a lot with that mangaka. They have a really good art style. Of course, it's the Dead Man Wonderland art style, but yeah, I just was not in the mood for that dark of a story at the time. So I did not read anything until like the 20th, I think. I'm not sure exactly. I don't have the exact date that I read these in front of me, but I know I have it written down in my bullet journal. I decided to go ahead and reread All for the Game, which is my favorite book series of all time, and I was like, maybe this will help me get out of a reading slump, and it did. It actually did. Surprisingly. Usually people say that that book series puts them in a reading slump. It did not for me. Go figure. So this reread I did digitally. I own them both on my Kindle and on physical copies, but I have my physical copies annotated so deeply that I was like, I'm not going to deal with that right now. I'm just going to read them on my Kindle, and it was nice. All of them are 5-star reads. I did take a break between The Raven King and The Kingsman to read the first 3 volumes of Full Metal Alchemist, which is one of my favorite manga series of all time. So I only read the first 3 volumes in June, but it was at the very end of June. So I was starting to get into a reading mood a bit. So I read the first volume, and I decided to read my omnibus versions of these. I own the first 4 volumes of the Full Metal editions, but I didn't want to get into the new translation yet and not be able to continue it because I'm on basically a complete buying ban. Anyways, I read the first volume. I gave a 3.75 stars just because I've read it so much that it's just... it is what it is. And of course, there's a couple of things that I'm like, why would he do this? That makes no sense. I know it's a setup for the plot of the book, but why is Ed telling Rose all of these weird, like, these details of his life that's supposed to be a super big secret? Anyways, volume 2, I gave 4 stars, and volume 3, I also gave 4 stars. And then I read The Kingsman, and I finished it on the very last day of June. It was, again, not a super great reading month, but July has already been a super great reading month, and we're only partway through the second full week of July, which is crazy, all things considered. But you will hear all about that in my July wrap up. My toe hurts. Okay, that is it, basically. In the end of the original video, I was talking about all the videos that I want to make next. I'm not going to promise anything, because even though these are things that I want to do, I don't know if I'm going to get around to do them. But maybe look out in the future for more stuff from me, because there are some things that I want to do. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you hopefully in a couple of weeks. I'll see you hopefully in a couple of weeks for my July reading wrap up, and I hope that you find some things that you really liked to read in July. Thank you so much for watching.